playing Nasir. And the two of them used their very good acting skills to show a level of intimacy and professionalism that every time I watched them perform and to go through you know, their long journey as lovers, you know, I just thought they executed that beautifully, you know, in a very, you know, very honourable way, I think, to all sexes, you know, and good on them. You know, but as I said, you know, Antonio was you know, I couldn't believe that he was the first to go, really. Like, you know, he died in, what was it, episode 4 or 5? Sorry, 5 of the first season. Because he was one hell of a character, you know, and it was sad to see him go, you know, but we said goodbye to many a good character, you know. And you never knew when it was your turn, you know. I knew I had a little bit longer to go.
I had an idea.
But, you know,
I think I got this.
there were some characters who, you know, you read the next script and you went, oh my God. Oh no. You know, that wasn't going to be like walking on the set, seeing them on set. You know, because they'd only just find out as well. You didn't find out until the script came. You know, some people you just had to go, probably you had a good run, you know.
Read the script yet? No?
Back to work. Back to the office. You know, a lot of these people go back to the office. You know, this stardom or whatever this thing is, this acting career, whatever. You know, a lot of people that are on our show got glimpses of great glory. You know, when I think about Antonio, Antonio's probably at Raglan Beach right now with his family and, you know, doing plays and doing spoken poetry, you know. But for a while there, he was the beast of Carthage. And what a beast he was.
I have to say personally Lugo. Barry Duffield, because that's just all Barry Duffield. That's just like, you know, Barry.
If Dustin Clare, who played Gannicus, was here right now, he'd be giving you crap for that, because he gave Barry such a hard time. Because Barry couldn't really string a sentence together. Lugo. But he was great.
Massive.
Yeah. But I tell you what, okay, on that question, I reckon Ananias. You know, Peter Menzel was our Doctore.
Yeah.
He's an amazing character, that guy, an amazing person. And he had all these qualities of somebody, you know, very calm, very calculated, very steers the ship. You know, he was a real Doctore for us through all those seasons. You know, he did a wonderful job.
Ellen is very much sexy. She's very much the dagger-wielding, crazy lady that's beautiful inside. And there's that, I don't know, I guess every actor, if they're doing their job, takes a little bit of themselves in.
John Hannah. How would we ever have been Spartacus without John Hannah? And Lucy, you know? I mean, when I think about all my fighting scenes, I don't think I ever had to bring it to the camera more than when I was on a scene against Lucy. On every level. But Lucy's a veteran, man. Like Lucy's a veteran. You know, she's Xena, and then she recalculated herself and reinvented herself as an actress and came on as Lucretia. And I tell you what, the calculations that were going through her mind, you know, playing, and that's how Lucretia was. When you walked into a scene and she would be like this. Crixus. Here we go. Here's someone.
Watch his head.
And then I'd look sideways. I'd be like this, and she's married to Rob Tabbitt, the producer. I'd look sideways and I'd see Rob on set and I'd go.
No idea what I'm watching right now. I'm very close to this. You've got to understand how close I am to this. It's a lot of Janice.
Hi. Just wanted to, I'm also a little bit of a history person, and I was just curious, how you guys and the writers tried to cover in, add in a little bit of basically to create whole stories around a time in which the Romans all, like, basically dominated all of the Europe, degraded them as sort of the minor tribe.
Yeah, good on you, darling. Good question, because I did an interview for a Vanity Fair Italy once. And in the interview I said, look, you know what, I feel like apologising to some degree to Italians about the betrayal of like Romans in general, because I mean at the end of the day, you know, the Empire of Rome gave us many a development that you know, and you know, all roads and everything. I mean, the way we live today is based a lot upon the Romans and the good that they created as well, you know. So you know, but you know what? I think that when they cast Simon Merrill as Crixus, you suddenly saw a smart guy, and you saw somebody with a degree of compassion and a wonderful soldier. I mean, he brought a lot of honour to that role, and I thought that that's what we started to at least curve away from just making it like
no, I mean, look, creating that story, that's an extremely good point, because I constantly, through reading,
my cock rages on.
And other historical facts. You got that one!
Did you just say another historical fact?
I'm not going to continue that question because he's covered it with cock raging.
Hey guys.
G'day.
One of the things that I loved watching the show and inspired me so much was the positive representation of women, people of color, queer characters. What sort of interactions have you had, both just in your characters and then also with fans, and what the inspiration that they took from that positive representation?
I've had some amazing experiences from this role. It is absolutely glorious how Stephen DeKnight and Stars itself, because you've got to understand, I mean, like, I remember early ideas of him saying, how about Nasir and Agron is the couple that survives? And I went, brilliant, but surely they won't let, you know, they won't let that through, because someone will go, ah, you know, that seems pretty long, you know, and it just, like, surely someone would just eventually veto that, because, you know, you don't get to tell those stories.
You don't get that ending. It's not the ending. It's not.
That's,
the
you know, it's not traditional enough.
We're curbed by stereotype. You know. So that breaks stereotype.
Yeah, right. So and so it's not. It's and that's a decision that everyone had to be party on. So I actually thank Stars, along with Stephen, along with the people that create, everyone that creates that show, for allowing those stories to happen, and allowing for a story that empowers women, empowers, you know, people of mixed, different sexualities, of different races and creeds. You know, well, it's not so much creeds, they were ones, but you know, it actually empowers people, and letting those stories be told, because thank God, because television is now telling stories like that. I always, even before I was part of the show, thought Spartacus was very much ahead of the curve in terms of, you know, honestly, I mean, people complain about blood and violence in the show, but that's how it was, and god damn it, how the hell could they have lived like that? But that's it. Like, gladiator games aren't made up. People killed each other just for fun. You know, and there was a large part of society, like I was reading historically for Hercules, this other show I'm doing, about Greek tutors that are part of being a student in some schools, where you had to basically learn sex from your male teacher. You know, so homosexuality being essentially part of your schooling. You know, and that's again, I can't cite the source of that, but things like that being actual history. So rather than just trying to homogenize that with modernity, but actually, you know, allowing those stories to be told, it's a gift.
Yeah, it's complex. You know, I mean, we sit here and we try to verbalize it. You know, but it was done in our show. It was done. It was executed very well. You know, and I like Liam, you know, have encountered people. You know, I mean, I was in Dubai doing a Comic-Con, and you know. Burkers, with the Burkers, yeah, saying, you know, we like Spartacus, we love Crixus, he's a good warrior, you know, and you're realizing that you know, the connection, the truth, you know, hold a mirror up. You know, we've all got eyes and a nose and a mouth and a heart, and we all have extended family and we all care. You know, it's simple. Really.
Well, it's a beautiful thing.
We just made it complicated, that's all. But you know.
Hello, sorry, I'm not usually used to talking through these things, but
I think you're doing just fine.
I just want to say that the casting of the show was just unbelievable, and it'd be nice to see everybody, but obviously everybody's going to be busy at some point or another, and the anticipation, every episode was just overwhelming to, you know, once the episode started, and then the ending was always so sad that you have to wait. I was really curious. Another character that I always loved was Asher. I think it's Nick Tarabay. And, you know, it's also
Nick
nice.
Tarabay.
Yeah. And
when he first came on the set, he was like this American act, you know, he'd come in and go, hey, fuck you! And so we had this thing going on, We had this thing going on, and everybody was doing it, everybody. They'd go, hey, fuck you! And it went on for months, all that stuff. People under the set, it was funny. Excuse the kids.
They're learning. They're learning.
There you are.
Ninja Turtles don't swear. Ninja Turtles don't swear. So you know.
I'm a school teacher, and believe me, they know more words than you know. But, I mean, he was such a backstabber on the show. I mean, was it like that in real life?
Finally, a chance to tell you all about what Nick does.
You know, I'll tell you what, I'm a Maori, okay? I'm going to tell you something else about part of our performance and some of the stuff. You know, we're talking about, you know, sexes and all these different things and all these equilibriums that are swayed and everything like that. Nick was concerned that he was being portrayed as a Middle Eastern, as an Arab, in a negative way that would stereotype Arabs because of the tone of the world today. And I understood that with him. And he wanted to be good. He wanted Usher to have something to hold on to so that he could somehow represent his ethnicity in a positive way, you know. And I really, but you know, Stephen DeKnight kept on twisting him and making him and all these things, you know. And but honestly, like, you know, as a person, Nick had a heart in that way, you know. And he did get twisted in certain ways, and we had conversations with him about it, you know. I'm a Maori, and, you know, my ancestry are still trying to find some sort of balance, you know, so that we don't have poverty and kids going sideways and joining gangs and all that sort of stuff, you know, anti-establishment stuff, you know. It's interesting, but Nick wasn't a backstabber ever. He was a really solid actor. I mean. There you go, brother. Yeah.
And it's very, you know, we're very proud that someone has made it so big internationally. So, anyway, I look forward to seeing him again.
And that's the point, brother. That's the point. You know, that is the point. See, because if I had to tell you how many Maoris have been cast as orcs, and I've been cast as the king of the orc. I mean, I think I'd make a good job. You know, but look, you got to play the tone of the world. You got to go with it. You got to go with it and do your best. You know, by representing it, being able to get up there and do it. I know I can go back to my little town in New Zealand, and the kids will go, "Oh, you're an arsehole," and that's good enough for me.
Crixus.
Now that the shooting's all over and the training and everything, what are the little things that you're going to miss about your routine while shooting the show and going through your training?
Sword fighting. I love sword fighting. I did a movie with sword fighting.
Friday night fives, $5 in. Everybody in the crew. Somebody wanted to come out. It was always the lighting department. You know, Friday fives, you put in $5, and every Friday, you know, everyone put $5 in, and, you know, in a crew of several hundred, you know, it was quite a big kitty.
Sweepstakes.
But it was never any of the actors, it was always the lighting department.
Because I never put any money in there, man. I didn't even know I was allowed to. Jeez, you told that 2 years later, thanks. Jeez, this, I mean, the whole show was like, there wasn't a day that went past that I was like, thank you, this is so great. I don't know, the craft services, they had great food. Great food, but we were allowed to eat it.
I did not miss quinoa.
Oh, nobody misses quinoa. Does anyone miss quinoa? Has anyone had that? Does anyone actually like it? Why? No, who said no?
Nobody likes quinoa.
This person likes quinoa. I don't see the people out there.
Okay, put up your hand if you like quinoa.
What is this, buddy?
Put up your hand if you don't like
Explain
quinoa.
now. Wow, I think it's quinoa friendly here. Exactly.
It's great.
I still don't know. It's something eggs or something.
It's what you eat instead of protein.
Yeah, instead of flavor. If you taste flavor.
Because we had gladiator tables. Like when you got to catering, there was everybody's row to go and get food.
Delicious
SOOD. Then there was the gladiator table, which was PAPER in a representation of food.
Yeah, it's like we've got all their food, we've taken it, sucked all the flavour out, and you can have it. Okay, now you maybe miss that less. Thank you. I miss the family. Because this is my first big show, and so I didn't know what that feeling was, it felt like leaving school. You make these amazing friends for such a long time, you invest everything together, you grow together, you develop something special together, and then one day you say goodbye and you never go back. And that's so hard.
Yeah, you know, I did 4 years on it, and it felt like a graduation for me. But you know, in the 2 years that Liam was on the show, oh my, I mean, look, here we get another personal anecdote about the personal side of our show. Watching Liam come on as this guy that I met in the caravan, right, who hadn't had a break, who had fairly limited television exposure to that point.
Very.
You know, you'd done that ad. What was that ad?
No, he didn't do any of that. No, it did quality television.
He did an ad for like Doritos. YouTube it.
That's rubbish. What happens? Someone with a microphone?
You can always go and watch me on Sinbad if I want to get
One of the first times I ever met Manu was like, watch this. It's called Sinbad and the Minotaur. And it was made with like 12 cents. And it's got the same shot 100 times of this Minotaur going. And I was like, this is fascinating. No, I want to watch a little more. No, it's getting better. It's getting better. It wasn't getting better. But yeah, so actors, it comes a time when you go, maybe I'm never going to be properly famous, so doing this is probably not a bad idea. You know? I can't see a real downside. And then Spartacus happens and you see a downside. And by then, it's too late because you did it. So don't ever look it up, it'll be boring.
Yeah, like in 2 years, you know, he became an unknown, really developed kind of actor, really, in terms of the big field. And by the end of it, right, especially in those last 3 or 4 episodes, man, you became the man. You were the man. You know, I mean, he really did. I mean, who didn't feel him pass away in that scene when he passed away? I was so proud of you, the way, you know, I mean, a death scene is not easy, you know, and I mean, it doesn't matter how much they glamorize it with music and a shot and all that sort of stuff. But you did that. You did our whole series. You did Andy Whitfield very proud, closing our show as strong as you did.
Were you there on the very final shot that they shot? Do you remember when they did that take? And we were filming it, they were going to go in for one more. It was with Agron walking away from the shield. And as they said action, it just started raining. Really loud. And it just was like pelting down rain. Just action. The second they yelled cut, stopped completely. And I was like, Andy Whitfield's here. Rain.
That's real rain.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I mean, I'm a spiritual kind of guy, so I don't want to speak for Andy, but I felt it was the most out of control feeling. I was moved to tears. I'm like, that's no coincidence. But yeah, there's some amazing memories on that show.
Yeah, and I mean, just because you're here to get an inside perspective of our show, I remember the day that we all were called in and production stopped. We hadn't really heard a lot about Andy in the last couple of months. He went very private. And Paul Grinder, who I was making fun about before, who had top and tail and made us hit blood balloons and stuff like that, he had the responsibility of gathering us into a studio, and none of us were expecting it. I thought we were axed.
I thought the show was over.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I had no inkling at that stage. I'd seen Andy about a month before at a premiere, just more than probably 2 months before at a premiere for a movie, and I'd gone back and I'd seen Chloe, and I said, Andy wasn't looking. So, anyway, I'll just jump that. Paul Grinder gathered us in this room and said to us, I've got to tell all of you this right now, but Andy Whitfield has passed away. The air evaporated from that room, and then it started hitting the media, and I think right around the world, anybody who watched the show was brought into a new gravitas. And, some strange symbiotic kind of way, it became another one of these huge truths about the vulnerability of us as human beings and how much we have to live when we have the opportunity, and I just can't believe what a legacy Andy Whitfield left for us, and the way that, this show was really shaped around him. Yeah, Andy. Well, let's all do a I am Spartacus. For
I am Spartacus!
For Liam, for everybody who was ever involved in our show, and for all of you, on the count of 3, I am Spartacus. Let's make it roar for that guy up there. 1, 2, 3.
Amazing. I can't do this without you. Love you guys, seriously.